Hello you romantic rad roaches, Jim Sterling here, and this is Fallout 4. Now be warned, the footage that I have collected and pre-recorded from the console version, boo, will have some spoilery things in it. Nothing major, I won't be doing any main story missions, but, you know, various enemy types, some side quest details, minor side quest details will be there. I'm joined by two companions, so there's your warning. If you want to go into Fallout 4 completely fresh, obviously don't watch this video until you've played Fallout 4. Do watch it though. I need the revenue. Anyway, so here we are. We're just walking around here for a little bit, doing a mission. It's a creepy old building. If you've read my review, if you can get through to the website, it's on thejimquisition.com. I rated it quite highly indeed. I love it. I've seen critics very mixed on it. Some people are saying they really didn't like it, found it boring, thought there were a lot of flaws in it, didn't like some of the changes. All fair enough. You know, all criticism is valid. Well, most criticism is valid until it's not. But, you know, when it comes to tastes and what you expect a Fallout game to be, it's fine if you don't like a thing.
Just chill out, asshole.
So this is me using the late level charisma ability, or trying to, where you can pacify an enemy, you can intimidate them. Doesn't always work. I've actually stopped using it now in the later game. And this was from, you know, obviously earlier in my gameplay. I've stopped using it just because it gets you in trouble, because you got to soak up a few bullets while you're lining someone up in your reticule so that you can pacify them. But when it works, as it just did there, it's beautiful. The second level of the perk is in sight, so you pacify, they give up, and then you can demand that they do stuff for, you know, kill enemies for you. The third level, which I never bothered to get, or at least haven't gotten yet, is you can actually give them commands like they were companions. I'm not sure how deep that runs yet, because like I said, I've not gotten around to. As I say, the pacification can get you in more trouble than it's worth sometimes. But it is a fun little trick to do. With my character, I went hard on I went hard on charisma and luck, just because that's weird. And some of the perks associated with them are very interesting. Eventually, I did have to go. There's a big gyrating thing there. I never noticed the wobbly crotch there, the pulsating crotch. Anyway. I did endurance as well, because once I learned just how tough radiation can be in this game, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go hard on endurance as well. So I got a lot of rad resistance, and as you could see just there from the wobbly crotch person, I went on the cannibalism trip as well. I do a lot of eating of people. Got a desk fan there, they're very important, because screws are precious for crafting. Anything that can give you ceramic, screws. Oh, and there's one other thing that's important, but don't worry about it. Basically, steel, anything that gives you steel, don't worry too much about, because steel is everywhere. The Brotherhood of Steel, way less important once you play this game and realise that steel is all over the place. If they called themselves the Brotherhood of Ceramic, then I'd be impressed. Then I'd actually be pleased. I'd be like, okay, that's hard to do. Finding ashtrays is apparently really difficult compared to, you know, scrapping a car in 3 seconds and having yourself 10 bits of steel. But that's besides the point. I want to talk about this gun. This gun it was a pre-named legendary weapon. There are sort of legendary weapons that have stars on them. And you get them from legendary enemies most of the time. Sometimes you can get them as quest rewards as well. And they've all got special abilities. And you can mod and craft your own weapons, but you can also mod and craft... it sounds like I'm saying modern craft. You can mod and craft legendary weapons as well. That's what I've done with this gun here. This gun was originally an automatic 10mm pistol that does 25 points of bleeding damage with every hit. It's my favourite weapon. You know, you shoot them, like, 1 or 2 times, and then just, like, duck around the corner, and they bleed to death. It's a beautiful weapon, I feel. However, when it was an auto pistol, when I first found it, it was kind of... Oh, yeah, she was pacified. And I just thought, fuck that. when it was an auto pistol, it wasted a lot of ammo, and ammo can be tough to come by, obviously. So I was like, I really love this gun, but the auto's just not doing it for me. Made it powerful as hell, but wasteful. So took it to a crafting station, changed out the auto aspect of it for, I think I gave it like a heavy, I can't remember all the terms, but there's different types of things, compensated, heavy, excited. All different guns have different sort of barrels and stocks and all that stuff. So anyway, I took out the automated thing and upped the damage. And now it's like my favourite weapon, and I renamed it Fenrir after my favourite character from Norse mythology. I did have a gun called Chungus, obviously. I did swap that out. I think I sold it because I found something better, so I need to go back and find a new weapon that I've kind of kept and call that Chungus. You see there, he just sort of bled out after a few shots from me. And pacifying again. So this is the main character I've been using. Call it Sterling. Sterling, one of the recognised names by Codsworth. They've got a lot of recognisable names. I'm eating again, yum 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 yum. And they got a lot of names recognised by Codsworth. If you name your character, and your robot partner who can be a companion, will call you by that name. Some of the names aren't there. I know Games Radar did a video on it. You can't have someone called Susan or Rebecca. Like, that's weird. It's weird that you've got Sterling. So I've chosen to believe that that's Bethesda explicitly pandering to me. Just out of sheer narcissism. Probably not, but to have Sterling and not, If Chungus was there, I've not tested it, but if Chungus is there, then that really would be Bethesda being on the ball, and well done them. But I don't think Chungus is there. Apparently Assface is, though, so that's something. Anyway, I got quite a bit of footage from this, so I took interesting footage, I think. A lot of people complain about frame rate dips on the console version. Now, I didn't notice them. I'm not saying they're not there. I'm not even saying that I may have experienced them, I may have, but I didn't notice them. So for me, they weren't there. I didn't see anything that hampered my enjoyment of the game on console. I've got a PC code as well now, so I'm going to have to try it on PC as well, see how that all shakes up. But like I said, for me, I didn't experience issues in that regard. Glitches? Oh, yes. Oh, don't you worry, I found glitches. Most of them funny. Most of them just silly, the usual kind of weirdness you associate with Bethesda stuff. But, it's a Bethesda game, and whether or not you find the glitches acceptable in a game of this scope, it's all down to personal preference. And once again, I don't personally feel there's a right or wrong answer there. Either you find all glitches unacceptable. I mean, I know I can be harsh on them. Hold on. Or you don't. It's up to you. I've tried to be as open as I can about the bugs and stuff in my review of the game. At least from my own personal standpoint. I would read a lot of reviews. This is definitely one of those games where I would suggest, if you care about reviews, read a lot of reviews, or, look at a lot of YouTube videos, whatever works for you, and form your opinion. Or, just buy it if you want. Do what you want. Do what you want. I'm in a very do what you want mood today. Trying to chill out. It's been a stressful day. This is a Brotherhood of Steel mission, by the way. We're in a vertibird, which is kind of neat. Just making a pass here on some super mutants, including a behemoth. But yeah, stressful day for me. Actually, this is the mission where I found that gun I was talking about, Fenrir. So you'll see the original version of it in this, and see the changes I've made to how it operates. But yeah, between getting the Fallout 4 review up, which is like 3,000 words, having the website crash because of the sheer influx of traffic, despite me upgrading the servers 3 times now, I need to find a new service. Simply do. Something that can scale, something that can, deal with it, So, anyway, I've been dealing with that. The website's leveled out a bit more, so the Jimquisition.com should be more readable, especially by the time you see this, now that the initial surge should have ended. Obviously Jimquisition went up, which proved to be a bit more controversial than I expected. I obviously expect some people to get annoyed whenever you touch on socially issues, you know, all that kind of stuff, but, you know, response has always been largely positive. You know, most of my audience are fucking awesome people and everything. And there's been some really cool debate, because there have been people who are like, you know, is this really something that should be commended? Was Bethesda just being lazy with your romance stuff? And my point of view is, even if it's lazy, when other developers still go to the effort to restrict your options, sometimes doing nothing can mean more than doing something. I've talked about that before as well with Sony, when the whole like Xbox One was going to be always online, and Sony did something that was akin to them doing fuck all, and it meant a lot more because other companies were doing something bad. So sometimes inaction can mean more than action, but you know, that's again just my personal take. So I liked this mission. Some of the battles are probably some of the biggest and most explosive I've seen in a Fallout game. You know, I think about New Vegas, and I love New Vegas. I mean, I love Fallout 3 and New Vegas both. But, like, you know, some of the climactic battle scenes in those games never felt huge. And they're not huge here. It's not like there's hundreds of people. But everything's just that much more explosive, that much more fast-paced, that the illusion of something bigger than it is created, which I find a lot more enjoyable. You know, sometimes even if something isn't big or important or dramatic, as long as it can make you feel like that, that's what matters. I mean, I'm a reviewer guided more by feeling than the raw technical nitty-gritty anyway. And again, it's all valid. It's just me showing off my power armor a little bit. Painted it blue. You can do paint jobs on them, and there are magazines dotted around that unlock more paint jobs. And they give different bonuses and benefits. A lot of them are more just sort of ups your defensive value. The Vault-Tec, the blue and yellow paint job that I went for, gives you 1 extra point in charisma. I don't need it. I'm already at 10 charisma. I can make anyone do anything. But it just looks cool. It looks natty. So plus it's an easy paint job to get. You don't need much in the way of resources or skill or like perks and things to get it. One thing I like about the perk system though is when it comes to crafting, they don't expect you to have a lot invested in special stats to unlock stuff. I thought differently about that there. Because, you know, strength, for example, governs armory, making armor mods, crafting armor, and melee weapons. I think it's agility or intelligence. I think it's intelligence has the gun nut perk, which is all about crafting weapon mods. But you don't need to be super intelligent to even get the final version of that perk, to get all, you know, I think it's 3 stars in gun nut. You only need 3 intelligence in order, and you need 3 in any stat to get any of the crafting options. That was a nice kill. That was juicy. And I appreciate that, you know. You know, if you want to rock a 1 intelligence, you know, I don't recommend it, because there's no fun bonuses for that. Like, actually, there is one perk in luck that rewards you for being of low intelligence. But it's not like you get the fun dialogue options like in older games. That's a bit more canned this time around. I know my friend and colleague from Fish Shark Marketing, Conrad Zimmerman, found that a problem. He didn't like that. But, you know, that's fair enough. I don't mind it. I like the more streamlined conversational stuff, personally. But again, it's just me. What was I saying? Oh yes, crafting. So yeah, I like that crafting doesn't require much investment outside of the perks themselves. The special stats don't require too much investment from you there. So yeah, this is the bleeding auto pistol. Maybe I didn't find it in this mission, maybe I just didn't mod it yet. I was too busy talking, I didn't see if I picked it up here or not, I don't think I did. But anyway, this is its original form. Still more powerful, probably more powerful than what I turned it into, because the auto shot just, you know, I mean, look at what it does to the bleed out damage. Oh yeah, I got Mysterious Stranger, don't you worry about it. If you're gonna ride the luck train like I've started doing, then, you know, you gotta throw in some Mysterious Stranger. But yeah, you can see just how, like, what an effect it has on the bleed out damage. That's me getting a good look at the super mutants, because they've redesigned them a lot. They don't have the elastic banding pulling up the mouths and things, which I do find a shame. I like the old look of the super mutants. I prefer the old look. Some of the redesigned monsters are amazing, but I'd have liked the super mutants to be a bit more... I guess they tried to make them look a bit more serious business. They've actually tried to make most of their enemies look scarier and more intimidating. I do like the personalities that the super mutants have. It's a subtle change, because they are still, you know, the big dumb screaming angry people who believe that they're the future, but they hammer on that we are the future vibe a lot more in this one, I feel. And I really like it. It sort of gives them a real sense of purpose in the world beyond what they're just sort of, you know, beyond what they normally do. As you can see here, like I said, I rode the endurance train hard. Kind of gave up on luck after a while. But I'm back on luck now that I've got endurance where I want it. Hell yeah, go on, go get it. Go get that cannibal meat. I forgot, yeah, this was me unlocking my ability to eat super mutants and things. So that was cool. That was fun. There we are. Get out of the armor. And go get you some. He didn't like it. Most of your companions are prudes, and they just don't get the lifestyle that comes with being... I refuse to say the word cannibal. I prefer to think a wasteland survivalist. Someone who does what needs to be done. Oh, no. Delicious. So anyway, I do a lot of that. I ended up, like, I guess, headcanoning and role-playing my guy as someone who basically stepped out of the vault into the wasteland and just loved it. Just sort of rolled with it. Someone who I've decided hated his old life in that sort of 50s style culture. Hated the whole fitting into regular family roles and everything. And is just loving what the world turned into. So yeah, go balls deep with the eating things and robbing people and blackmailing them for money and all that stuff. Now you notice there, Dance liked me getting into the power armor. He likes it almost every time I get in the power armor. He's a really easy guy to please. Just go pop out of the armor, into the armor, out in. He just loves watching you get into it. I may commission once this game is out for a while and everyone sort of... stuff becomes more public domain in terms of what people know. I will expect intense erotic fanfiction, it wouldn't even classify as slash, fanfiction between Dance and a suit of power armor, because he seems to pop a boner every time he sees someone wearing it. Which is fine. That's his thing. Again, like today's all about, it's fine. Let's not worry about it. I'm saying this before I've even had my medicines today, which I'm going to take once I've done with this, because I'm very, like I said, I am quite stressed out for someone who's being quite laid back at the moment. You know, nothing especially bad's been happening. You know, the usual crowd got pissed at me for saying things. You know, having the website crash because of traffic is a good problem to have. I don't like shooting these, they look like my dog Bartleby. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Cut his head off. Anyway, so yeah, I'm feeling, I got my anxieties going. Like I was said in my video, my last video, the Orc Slayer video, days like this get me, me angst up and running. So, probably gonna take me a pill and masturbate my stresses away. I think that's a good plan for today. While I wait for Rise of the Tomb Raider to turn up, which might be today, might be tomorrow. I will do a review of Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's just I asked a bit too late. By the time I forgot that it was coming out because I was working so hard on Fallout and working on the Blops 3 review, which upset some people. That I forgot that Tomb Raider was coming out at this time, along with everything else. Like, it's a nightmare to keep track of stuff. So by the time I asked about a code, I fucking hate my alerts. By the time I asked about a code, I was out of time. But they said they're getting some new ones in, and so I should be on the list. Now you notice here, I included this footage because I want to talk about legendaries. I get excited when I see legendaries because they always carry some kind of interesting loot, even if it's like below your level or it's no use to you. It sells for a good, pretty penny. These are like lucky metal right arm plus 2 luck. It's it's a decent bit of gear that you can strap on. Legendaries are fun to fight because they're always tougher. They have some neat gear and they do the evolved. They mutate. So you get them down their health a little bit, and then the health comes back up, and it's always exciting. So these are the new feral ghouls. Now these I fucking adore. When I first met these, I shat myself. They operate similarly to the old feral ghouls, except they don't stand there for ages going bah! Before they come at you, giving you a chance to kill them before they've even moved. But they swarm. They swarm this time, and there are moments when there are little crawl spaces in walls or holes in the ceiling, and they skitter out like insects and throw themselves at you, and they'll fall on the floor as they tumble. They'll bodily hurl into you and tumble and fall on the floor with physics and then scrabble back up. Moving similarly to the fluid moving zombies in the World War Z movie, that one with Brad Pitt that people hated, but I actually thought was alright, as long as you divorce it from the excellent book. So yeah, I love the way they've done feral ghouls in this one. And even if they're not glowing ones, they always deal radiation damage. Radiation energy and ballistic damage have become somewhat more important, because there are a lot more resistances and weaknesses this time around. And radiation damage is no fucking joke. Let me tell you that much for nothing, mate. My perception isn't very good, so I don't know aim no good. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about feral ghouls and radiation damage, no joke. That's why I postponed my plans to go with endurance, because getting that radiation looked into, fucking crucial. At least I feel. You get a lot of protection from it in the power armor. I'm in power armor here. But I spent a lot of the game outside of it because I didn't want to waste all the fusion cores. Because power armor is powered. It takes a battery. Here we are using a sniper rifle. I included this little bit just because, as you can see, I ran out of AP because I was sprinting. But could easily just pop and scope that thing. The bloatfly, which is good because sniper rifles actually feel viable this time. One of the big frustrations with the older games. Oh, hold on, got to talk about this. They're terrifying as well. Super mutant suiciders. The moment you hear their tick, 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 panic. I know I do. They're very good at one shot killing you because they just run at you with a nuke in their hands and blow up. So yeah. But anyway, sniper rifles, one of the great frustrations in the old games was that they never felt effective. Here, pretty damn good. They're actually good out of VATS as well, that you can hold your breath and shoot from quite a damn good distance and pop ahead. So, yeah, I like the way sniper rifles are this time compared to the older games. Got myself stuck on the scenery a little bit there. What's this? Forgotten what this bit was. Oh, just more super mutants. Just killing more super mutants. There's a mutant hound. Now here I am using a pipe gun. This is an automatic pipe rifle. Oh, that hound went flying. Now pipe weapons are weak, but the ammo they use is the most abundant. So it's always worth having a pipe thing somewhere. I tend to try and stick with anything automated when it comes to pipe guns, just because this is the only way I feel I can deal some effective damage. But yeah, they're pretty much your basic shitty, you know, it'll get the job done eventually kind of gun. Oh yeah, it's me just dealing with some radiation there. Because I was feeling hungry and wanted to get the benefits. Nom, 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 nom. Eat your way through the wastelands. That's my saying. It's not, but it could be a saying if I wanted it to be. I mean, I accidentally made the phrase "is this memes" into a meme. So there you go. So anyway, that was my look at Fallout 4. I'm closing out with just a little look at some crafting-y stuff. So you can see us changing the barrels and sort of the various options we can do here. I mostly just go for maximising damage. I don't know if I actually do anything here or if I was just looking, if I was just browsing. But I'll probably I've got a lot of footage of me building and crafting and stuff. So I'm probably just going to use that in a montage-like thing to close out, because I've been talking for like 26 minutes. And I'm done. Like I say, I want to settle down. I want to get medicinal, and I want to knock one out. So yeah, I really like it. I mean, well, I loved Fallout 4. And I know some people are going to hate it. I know some people have already decided to hate it before it's even out, which, you know, that's up to them. But personally, enjoyed it. Yep, it has bugs, but this is one of those games where the game itself is so good that I'm able to look past those issues and see it as a testament that I can still really get into it. But, you know, again, it's just my point of view. If you do get Fallout 4, I hope you enjoy it. I always hope that when people buy a game, even if it's a game I don't like, I hope they love it. So I hope you're not disappointed with it, because that would be a sad time for you. And I want you to have a happy time in your life. So I'm going to go. I'll probably be back later with maybe a Best of Scene Greenlight trailer, maybe an early access squirt, who knows. So yeah, until then, that's it for me. I've done like 3 big bits of Fallout content today. I'm fucking tired. So I'm going to go take that break now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.